Picture this, it's 2014. The music industry is riding high on its traditional gatekeeping model. Radio stations decide what gets played. Major labels decide who gets signed. The system is working exactly as designed. In a New Orleans bedroom, two cousins are about to shatter that entire system. Scott Arsenault Jr. and Aristos Petro, Scrim and Ruby DeCherry. Two kids with a suicide pact and a SoundCloud account. They have no connections, no money, no industry support. What they do have is something the industry fears more than anything else. They have a plan to prove the entire system is obsolete. Fast forward to 2024. These two nobodies just grossed $50.7 million on tour. Their merchandise business made over $30 million in a single year. They signed an 8-figure distribution deal while remaining completely independent. They've accumulated over 5.3 billion streams without a single radio hit. They didn't just succeed outside the system, they proved the system is unnecessary. Welcome to the Don's Breakdown. Today we're exposing how Suicide Boys became the music industry's worst nightmare and how they exploited it. New Orleans, 2014. Scott Arsenault Jr. is struggling with addiction. His cousin, Aristos Petro, is a blood oath that would change everything. Give ourselves till 30 to make this music career work, Ruby DeCherry would later explain, or we would kill ourselves. Think about what that means. These are two kids with nothing to lose, and that makes them the most dangerous kind of artists. Because when you have nothing to lose, you don't need to play by anyone else's rules. While other artists are trying to impress A&Rs, Suicide Boys are making music for themselves. While others are chasing radio play, they're building a SoundCloud following. Ruby DeCherry puts it perfectly. When we first started, we wanted to do the exact opposite of what everybody in rap was doing. We didn't have nice cars or gold chains, so we just flexed that we were losers. This is the first crack in the industry's foundation, the realization that authenticity could be more powerful than manufactured success, but the industry doesn't see it coming. They dismiss Suicide Boys as shock rap, as kids who will eventually need their help. They have no idea they're watching the birth of their worst nightmare. While the music industry is focused on traditional channels, Suicide Boys are quietly building something unprecedented. They're doing everything themselves. Scrim handles production, Ruby DeCherry designs merch and directs videos. They're not just artists, they're entrepreneurs building infrastructure. But here's what the industry doesn't understand. This isn't about saving money. This is about maintaining control. Every time an artist outsources to the industry, they give up power. Radio promotion, now you need programmers. Distribution, now you need a major label. Suicide Boys are doing the opposite. They're building their own machine. By late 2016, they're making serious money but burning out. That's when Scrim's friend Kyle Loynerson makes a call that changes everything. You're letting 70,000 fall through the cracks every year. But here's the crucial part. They don't run to a major label. They hire managers but maintain control. They keep ownership. They stay independent. This is the second crack in the industry's foundation. Artists can scale without surrendering control. 2017, Suicide Boys make a move that sends shockwaves through the industry. They start their own label, G59 Records. But this isn't just any label. This is built on principles that directly contradict everything the industry believes. Ruby DeCherry explains, I come from a punk background. I've always said FK labels, I'd rather start my own. Scrim adds, the guys we've signed to G59 are brothers. We aren't looking for hits, we just sign people we're fans of. I'm not trying to make money off anyone. They just rejected the entire foundation of the music industry. The industry is built on exploitation. Sign artists cheap, own their masters, take most revenue. Suicide Boys said, no, we're doing the opposite. And somehow, this anti-business approach is becoming incredibly profitable. This is the third crack. Treating artists fairly might be better business than exploiting them. 2021. The industry thinks they have Suicide Boys figured out. They're successful, but underground. They'll eventually need major label support. Then Suicide Boys sign an 8-figure distribution deal with The Orchard. 8 figures, at least $10 million, while remaining completely independent. Traditional model, label owns masters, takes 80 to 90% of revenue. Suicide Boys model, artist owns masters and label, distributor gets small percentage. Artist keeps control and majority revenue. They flip the power structure upside down. The Orchard is paying 8 figures because Suicide Boys are worth it. Distributors are competing for their business. This is the fourth crack. Artists don't need major labels to access major resources. Independence can be more profitable, but the industry still controls success metrics, radio play, Billboard charts, media coverage. Suicide Boys are about to destroy that too. Let me give you numbers that will make your head spin. 5.3 billion streams without radio play. $50.7 million touring revenue without media coverage. $30 million merchandise sales without traditional retail. 4 top 10 Billboard albums without Hot 100 hits. They've achieved massive success while bypassing every traditional metric. They've never had a radio hit, but grossed more than artists with multiple hits. They've never had media coverage, but built more loyal fans than mainstream artists. This is the fifth crack. Traditional metrics are meaningless. Radio doesn't equal revenue. Charts don't equal profitability. 2024, the Grey Day Tour. Suicide Boys announce a multi-artist underground rap tour. The results, $50.7 million gross, 600,000 tickets across 60 dates. Third highest grossing rap tour of the year. They outsold major label artists. They did it with underground artists and word-of-mouth marketing alone. Every dollar goes to their operation. No major label cut, no corporate sponsors, no industry middlemen. This is the sixth crack. Artists can build massive operations without industry infrastructure. While processing those numbers, Suicide Boys drop another bombshell. $30 million merchandise revenue in 1 year. Their strategy, limited drops 3 times per year. When it's gone, it's gone. Scarcity marketing, premium pricing. The industry treats fans like consumers. Suicide Boys treat fans like community members. This fan-first approach generates more revenue than the industry's consumer-first approach. This is the seventh crack. Treating fans well is better business. Community is more valuable than commodity. But the most devastating blow isn't financial, it's philosophical. 2019, Scrim enters rehab. 2020, Ruby follows. The industry expects the usual story. Artists get clean, lose edge, fade away. But Suicide Boys do something unprecedented. They get clean and get better. Personally, artistically, and commercially. Ruby the Cherry. I'm not going to tell fans I still want to kill myself. Scrim and I feel responsible for the messages we put out there. They rejected the industry's most toxic belief that artists need to suffer for their art, that addiction is necessary for authenticity. Instead, they proved recovery makes you more authentic, sobriety makes you more creative. Their post-sobriety work has been their most successful. Revenue increased, streams grew, fan loyalty deepened. This is the eighth crack. The industry's exploitation culture isn't just morally wrong, it's commercially stupid. Today, Suicide Boys have built the industry's worst nightmare fully realized. They own everything: masters, label, distribution, touring, merchandise, fan relationships, 8-figure deals, $50 million tours, $30 million merchandise, billions of streams, millions of fans, all without radio, all without major labels, all without industry approval. They've proven artists don't need major labels to succeed. Independence is more profitable. Treating fans well is better business. Authenticity is more valuable than manufactured personas. They've proven the entire industry infrastructure is obsolete. The nightmare isn't just Suicide Boys, it's every artist who sees this and thinks, if they can do it, why can't I? Every artist who realizes they don't need to sign away rights, they can build their own infrastructure. Independence isn't just possible, it's profitable. The industry built power on scarcity, but Suicide Boys prove scarcity is artificial. Artists can distribute, promote, and build audiences themselves. The industry built power on fear, but Suicide Boys prove fear is manufactured. Artists can succeed alone. Independence means dominance. The industry built power on exploitation, but Suicide Boys proved exploitation is unnecessary. Artists can keep revenue, own work, maintain control. This is why Suicide Boys are the industry's worst nightmare. Not because they're successful, because they've proven the industry is unnecessary for success. We started with 2 kids and a suicide pact. 2 cousins who promised themselves until 30 to make it work or they kill themselves. They're both over 30 now, very much alive. But something else died. The industry's monopoly on success. The belief artists need industry approval. The idea independence means limitation. Suicide Boys built a blueprint. Proof that independence isn't just possible, it's profitable. They proved you don't need radio to reach millions. You don't need major labels for major revenue. You don't need industry approval for industry level success. Most importantly, treating people well is better business than exploiting them. Authenticity is more valuable than manufactured personas. Building community is more profitable than extracting from consumers. The industry's worst nightmare isn't piracy, it's not streaming, it's not AI. It's artists who prove the industry is obsolete. And Suicide Boys just proved it beyond any doubt. This has been the Don's Breakdown. We've exposed how Suicide Boys became the industry's worst nightmare by exploiting every weakness in their system. They didn't just succeed outside the system, they proved the system is unnecessary. They didn't just build an empire, they built a revolution. The real nightmare, every artist who realizes they don't need permission to succeed. They just need the courage to prove it. The revolution is real,